The recent development in the country now,
watching and listening to, and a lot of people spoke. Many also wrote, and if you listen, you will think that you are doing a research paper. But from understanding, we were trying to understand because it covered a lot of areas, from friendship, governance, etc. and etc. And it was a gathering of the cream de la cream, past sets of states, maybe except Muhammad Buhari that was ably represented. The reason is best known to him why he couldn't attend, but we all know in the past that when he was overthrown, as inflation was terrible when the June 12 was annulled, the democracy movement, and so on and so forth. And I just looked back and I said, if there was an annulment, there was an issue. Therefore, the forces behind him did not allow him to declare the results and allow Abiola to take over. That is me. I think I'm more concerned about, because I don't want to go into issues of what we suffered and what we did not suffer. Those we witnessed that died and how leaders have come to power, they have failed to remember those ones. They are just using West. And they should have gone out to do a collation of those that were duly affected, particularly in the Southwest, which was the hub of the whole crisis. I also know that even when Abacha came to power, he never visited Lagos for the years that he spent as president, head of state of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But that as it may, I think the statement made by Abdulsalami Abubakar, retired, the former head of state, from 1998 to 1999, is something that we should look at. Many of us are Muslims and Christians, and many of us have been told and taught on what prophecy is all about. He mentioned something that struck me. Friends for a period of no less than 80 years was walked through. Seeing them being former heads of states of Nigeria, we should look at the other aspect and say, why did Abiola able to occupy the position? Was there a prophecy of Moses to him, the president of Nigeria? A prophecy, people work to fulfill prophecy. Every one of us have destiny that is bright. But how do we work towards it? And I told someone when the election that brought Buhari to power the second time, and I think my Facebook was very clear, and I said, how do you stop someone that is going to enter an aircraft that is going up from winning an election? That's a revelation. If someone is going to enter an aircraft and is walking towards majestically, and I wake up to wonder, how do you expect someone to win when he landed from an aircraft? He came out of an aircraft. That's a negativity, that's negative part. Even to cross and enter his country, the immigration officer delayed his entry. What is all about? We know how Abdulsalam came to power. No, he himself never believed. I'm not sure he was looking at prophecy as, okay, they said I will be a president or head of state or a leader of a country. I'm about to retire. Abacha is in power. How do you explain the sudden death of Abacha and he now became the president? Do you explain? How do we explain that the chief of army staff to Buhari, they came in 1983, December, the last day of December 31st. And in 1985, they just implementing a program. They succeeded in toppling Buhari government. Do we explain? How do we explain Buhari coming back after so many years of absence and failure to win an election for not less than 3 times? And he finally won. How do we explain it? So I go to that direction of prophecy, destiny. Not because you know how to speak English, not because you can live with people, but map out your best strategies may be the beginning of the strategy of another person. So that's the way I look at it. And even prophecies that are said, particularly even to myself, to say, yes, this child that is disabled under the age of 1, he will walk with 2 legs. Years later, when my mom told me that this was what they said, I was wondering, how am I going to walk with 2 legs when one has been amputated? I didn't even realize that I was going to be out of this country and there will be a limb to be created. Physically, my leg, and I walk with 2 legs. And when I was coming from the UK, my mom was told to welcome me in Lagos and said, what they said has come to pass. How do I explain that? Where did my mother meet somebody to say, don't worry, labor for this child may have his 2 legs back? It may not be exactly the 2 legs, the leg that was amputated exactly, but something representing it, that I can stand up without necessarily supporting myself with any instrument. I can be talking to you, but my soul will just have a defect, not realizing that it was a complete fixing of an artificial prosthesis. So we should not ignore and start speaking English. And I always tell people that before you take a strategic move, you don't need a pastor to tell you you will win. You don't need to go and do a consultation. With a clear mind you have and you sleep, with a good mother you have, with the heart that you use in relating with people, you will sleep, you will know whether it's a journey that you can embark upon or not. Not people telling you, oh, we are your local government shouting and you think you have population. You have people to vote for you. It is not what you should be talking about. You should know what, you don't embark on a journey that you are not sure. Pastors don't see clearly the way God will make you to see clearly. When to leave and when to come back to the stage. Assess it properly. Take a cue from Bola Tinubu. He was out of the scene when you were hearing his name. He never occupied positions. He never struggled. By the time he came out, I said no contest in Southwest. To God who made man and to the best of my ability and the way I've been assessed, I have never voted for a failure. For someone who will fail in an election, it's not possible. Because it is either I do my proper analysis or I get the revelation which I will never disclose to anybody, but I can use parable as a binima to explain and illustrate, which some of my friends know me. A close friend of mine said, how do you know that somebody is going to win? I said, when you do not have a biased mind. So look, people should look at what I wanted Abiola to be a president. But I'm beginning to see why. That's all I can say. And I believe that we can take some learning here, that don't jump the gun. Don't tell me because you are an orator. Don't tell me because you are a public speaker, therefore the office is good for you. Don't tell me you were a student union leader and therefore you can occupy the position. Probably go and ask Oshomole and maybe he will give you a hint, or probably the mother will explain what was the prophecy about him. You call him Taylor, you call him all sorts of names, but where is he today? A child that listened to his parents and still have parents and follow what they said and never argued and did not underrate his parents, likely to occupy the position of importance. Thank you.